Okay, welcome. This is Wyndham College English History Faculty's advice on how to do Task 3 or Module B post-study test for Standard English 2019. And our assessment task is an annotation. And there's been a bit of a split in how to do a layout. So this video is about how to do a layout of your annotation in a way that's comfortable so you can express your ideas and get maximum marks. Now, the two systems for laying it out, I'm calling one a map layout, which is a bit more of a conventional one here. I've taken a screenshot or a photo, a physical photo of 2 pages from Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time. And what I've done here is I've picked a page where it's a layout of the street and the houses and helping ugly people have sex for 2,000 years. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to analyse that text, even though there's a little bit of maybe comedy and a bit of an unconventional layout. There's a bit of a clue. But more importantly, when you're going to talk about how the text works or the analysis, and more importantly your own opinion, this video is going to help you in thinking about how you want to lay it out so the market can follow your thoughts and pay you the maximum reward. So with the old school way, you can use digital stuff to do that. You can also scan this out, but normally you do arrows. You might do something like this, circling. You can use digital, you can use ink, it doesn't matter, and then you write something here. You might write it in a bit of a block like that. You know, you might have a separate idea where you want to talk about this. You know, you can be a little bit creative as long as you might do a block of text here, like that. Bit of analysis, personal response. You could have a third idea, and you notice I'm mixing up the colours now because I might want to talk about something here in red, and maybe combining that with something here in red, and then do another little block of text here, there. You know, and then, you know, again, you find out the margins of the book aren't big enough. You can add more ideas. You can go crazy with colour printing if that's going to help you. You know, you can add blocks of text here, here, and here. We're not necessarily doing P or steel paragraphs. They're sort of like that. But again, you can use the borders. You can actually write down the page. You know, markers are allowed to rotate and shift and see and follow your thinking as long as we know exactly what parts of the text you're talking about. That's theoretically the old school way of doing an annotation for a book. Now, 2019, a lot of people are doing the digital option. Whether you go for the map, you should be able to get an A doing that because it's what's in the box and directing us back to the text and telling us how the analysis was, how you developed that analysis, and more importantly, or just as importantly, get to that idea of a personal response and your own personal opinions and points of view. And there's another video on the YouTube channel and Google Classroom that'll help you about writing with a personal voice. The other layout option is so rather than the map, I'm calling it the linear layout or the ribbon. Some people are taking blocks of text or typing it out manually or pulling it from the PDF and just putting in a block. So this is not from Curious Incident, this is from Feed, the other half of Wyndham students do Feed as their post-study, and what they do there is, basically it's Anderson is clearly saying this, Haddon there, Anderson here. Okay, we know that, add the page number, just as a bit of a courtesy. I've put a little bit of a break here, just something to let you know that maybe put this in a different font, and you can just put a big block in here, maybe point to a key bit here, a key bit here, and a key bit here, highlight, whatever you want, just point to that text, and then you can put your paragraphs in here. So I think people are maybe preferring the linear one if they want to do bigger paragraphs on longer things. You can still do it in the map layout, but obviously it's a block, and it's a bit of copying and pasting. So that's the salad days, you know, oh well, oh my God. Oh, wow thing, you know, he's completely now. I'm not going to do the analysis obviously for you, but that's how you can position your layout. Still using arrows, but just putting it out in a nice linear sequence, easier to follow. Second section, so again we can use the second section here. This is on page 229, I've added the page number in there, 80.9%. There's the list of things that Violet would like to do before she leaves this earth. So we're back to Anderson talking clearly, and this is you. And it might be a different idea. So by all means, just like other students, feel free to use different colours so the marker can follow that if it's relevant. But again, you can also, and I've actually jammed this in there because it's the same section and I've split in half, but there's a big chunk coming, and I want to be able to point at key bits of language so I can be precise and say this is exactly what's happening there. So hopefully that's been able to clarify it for you about whether you want to do a map layout and play with shape and form a little bit more and try to squeeze your analysis into these little margins and ribbons, or put it into a compress it and use big margins and talk around the text, or whether you want to be embedding your analysis into the text. Really shouldn't matter, and I look forward to seeing how you guys approach this, because there'll definitely be supreme, very successful results using either method. It's just a question of comfort.